Yeah guys, if you're doing a lot of handheld shots with either the DJI Action camera or a GoPro Action camera, then I have maybe an awesome solution for you to improve the grip, stability, safety and prevent from recording your fingers when you hold the camera, something like that, which happened already a couple of times to me. And these great solutions are these TELESIN Metal Street photography kits available for different cameras, especially for the GoPro and the DJI, and you can see how nice and easy we can hold that also like that for selfies. So much easier, so much more safe. And on top of that, we have even the hand straps if you're recording in situations where the camera could drop, maybe on a tower, cruise ship or other difficult locations. The frames add even one or here even two additional cold shoe slots, and to use the release button is definitely much easier than before. Could even work easy with large gloves in winter, and we still have full access to everything. As you can see here, also magnet holder here and a very similar construction here for the GoPro. And the great thing, they were easy to assemble in 5 minutes, even without reading the instructions manual. That's the most important thing. Nobody wants to read instructions manual for hours. But of course here you want to see how this really worked in detail. So here we have the two packages, here the one for the Action 4, here the one for the GoPro. And to find out how easy or difficult it is to assemble, I always try it without the instructions manual. So let's start first with the Action 4. Here we have the frame, here we have the handle, nice strap and the release button. I think that's it. So how to open this thing? I think there's a push mechanism here. Yeah, easy to open. But how to align? We have the writing here and here, but the shutter release button is here on the right side. So of course we have to align that. So I slide it in here. Yeah, feels really nice. Wow. Yeah, the fit is absolutely perfect. Not too tight, not too loose. So it looks like they have invested a lot of time to really build this accurately. So we close this and now we have to attach the handle. I think I've found the tool here inside. This thing almost like a screwdriver, which we have to use here. So based on the picture, I would say it goes like that. Then we use the tool, make sure that it's really tight. And then as a last item, the shutter release mechanism. I guess we have to slide it in here. That would make sense. So let's see if I can hold it like that. It has a secure hold and I can press the release button from here. How does it work for selfies? Yeah, definitely also much better here, because now I'm much further away here with the thumb from the camera lens than before. So you can see no interference anymore with the camera lens. That's so much better now. And we still have access to the on-off button here. And can we still open the case? Yeah, works easily. So we can still access the footage through the USB-C and charge the camera, so we can leave it like that. Yeah, the construction is super solid. Definitely way more grip than before. Of course, there's some additional weight. I mean, it's a full metal construction. With plastic, it would be much more lightweight, but of course, then it wouldn't be so stable as this super solid construction. And mechanical wise, everything works absolutely awesome. I think it also doesn't cause any friction here on the shutter release buttons. You don't have to be worried. This thing is an absolute phenomenal construction. Of course, a question, does it still work with the magnetic mount? Here I have one. Yeah, works still in the same way. Also easy to release. Yeah, tried it also outside and it worked really good. Absolutely no problem. No thumbs on the lens anymore. Definitely had way more grip, almost more stability, of course a little bit more weight, but it also makes a much more professional impression when you're using something like that. On the other hand, you have to know holding the camera now towards you with the right hand is a little bit difficult, and also shooting here away from you means you have to hold it in your right hand and not with the left hand. I think that's not interchangeable, but that's how we usually use these cameras. Strap, I guess, would fit perfectly here on top. Something like that. Yeah, that definitely provides some extra safety. And on top of everything, we have additional protection, of course, for drops or so. But of course, removing the camera would mean you have to undo the whole construction again. There's no quick release or so. But especially in my case, I would leave it like that most of the time anyway. Unless maybe I use the camera for skiing, then I would have to remove the case. And so I guess the GoPro works in a very similar way. We also have very solid frame. The hand grip, here's some additional screws, hand strap, release plate. Do we also have the key here? Yeah, same thing. Here mechanism is a little bit different. Here we have a button and another one here on top. So I guess the idea is here also to remove the whole side here of the GoPro. We can just pull it out. Same thing as with the media mod, which I've been using for a longer time. And so we can also slide it in here, close it, and add also the cover here. Okay, the only thing when we remove it, we can also remove the whole side. So we even have access to the battery and not only to the charging and data port. We also still have access to the GoPro mount down here, to the power button. But now, of course, we want to add the handle. So we align it here, secure the screw. You can also use a screwdriver. And for the shutter release, we have to use this cold shoe-like construction here on top. I think we have to push here a little bit, so that's easier. Of course, after that, we can remove the sticker. Yeah, it makes a really good impression. Of course, also here the hand strap, like that. Solid construction. Yeah, almost feels even better than with the DJI. Really good. Love this implementation here, but maybe it's also because I'm already used to that style. To open is a little bit different here, of course. Now when we have the grip already, we can still open it with this button, but not fully. Still not enough. So I guess when we want to have access, we have to remove the shutter release bar here every time. So we can fully open it also with the large grip here. Yeah, that has always been a little bit a disadvantage with the GoPro, and we see that also here. Yeah, another advantage for the DJI compared to GoPro. Maybe my only complaint here is that this part here is not really secured. So you have to be a little bit careful when you open it. It could easily fall out. That's maybe the only thing, or I'm doing something wrong, but at least for me at the moment it looks like there's no additional safety here for the hinge on the top. By the way, here we have another key. I think it's a thinner one, so we can use that for the location pins. And here we have a TF card slot storage. Works like a normal TF card reader. And when we remove the sticker, we can see we have same thing as with the DJI version. We have another cold shoe slot, also one here on the side. So I think we have two at the end. 1/4-inch tripod mount down here. And I think with the DJI we have just one cold shoe slot, but also the 1/4-inch tripod mount. GoPro start stop works in exactly same way here. Super easy to reach here with the index finger. And same thing here in the normal recording mode. So they work in a very similar way, maybe a little bit more options here with the GoPro, but easier to use, I would say, with the DJI, but mainly due to the easier construction of the DJI compared to the GoPro. So I would say both really great solutions and a huge amount of extra safety added here compared to just holding the cameras in the hand. They help also greatly to avoid recording our fingers. Much easier to use the trigger release button. But of course, I've also accidentally hit this button here because it's so easy to hit this or the whole bar here on top. But you will definitely get used to that. Way more than just a gimmick. It has huge additional benefit, there's no question about that. And so if you're interested in one of these two Metal Street photography kits, then you can find the links in the description of the video. Definitely worth to check out more details and maybe order one for you if you like, and I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments or want to share your own experience with this kit, then just let us know down in the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things, and if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, see you next time.